Well, hello there. Welcome to this video. This is a video about how you can get a complimentary copy, a pre-publication version of a new ebook, thanks to New Heights Educational Group. Now, this ebook has a title, How and Why Homeschool Math Can Be Vastly Superior to Public School Math. This is something that homeschoolers have been waiting for a long time. How and why this can be accomplished, and that's what this book is all about. And you can get your copy for free. If you just click here on claim your copy, you'll go immediately down to a place where you can claim your copy. You just enter 3 pieces of information: your number of students you have, high school age, your first name, your email address, and some optional information if you want to, and submit it, and you will then be given your free pre-publication copy. Now, what you're going to get out of this book is, first of all, you're going to discover how you can teach post-elementary math in a vastly superior way to your students compared to any of the public schools today. You're also going to learn how to apply proper pedagogy, that is, teaching techniques and proper content and proper tools to your student to learn the math. And you're going to get an understanding of today's math education crisis, along with solutions that you can apply today. Now, what I'd like to do on this video is just very quickly review with you the contents of this book. Well, we start off with a preface where I explain how I got involved in this. I am Craig Hain. I'm the author of the book, and I'll show you a little bit about myself in a moment. That's on this webpage. Then there's an introduction where really I give you a quick overview of what's in the book. So you can read the introduction, and I'll let you know what is in this book and what's good for you. Not every chapter will be of interest to you, but many of them will. So let me quickly show you what they are. Chapter 1 is all about what's called spike pedagogy: self-pacing, proper contact, interactivity, keeping score, empathy, and humor. Now, this is the way you need to teach math today, and public schools can't do it. Homeschoolers can do it, and that's the most important chapter for you to read right off the bat. Now, if you have a student that's struggling with math, Chapter 2 is for you. Chapter 2 is all about helping a struggling student turn around and do well in math. Now, if you don't have a struggling student, you go right to Chapter 3. And this is going to tell you now how you can give your child a really great education in algebra and geometry and trigonometry and really beyond. Now, children come into different categories. First of all, you might have a student that is not interested in going to college but wants to go out and have a good career, perhaps in a technical field. Well, Chapter 4 is for you. This is for non-college bound students. And if you teach them the right math, which is never done in the high schools, you'll get them prepared for all sorts of wonderful careers. Now, you might have a student that's college bound, but they're not interested in science and engineering, STEM so-called. Well, then they're going to need to do well on the standard exam, but they don't need a lot more math, so Chapter 5 tells you what to do with those students. And finally, you might have a student that maybe is interested in science and engineering, or STEM, and Chapter 6 is for that. So pick which of these chapters fits whichever student you have. And if you have multiple students, they may fit different categories. So read the appropriate chapter. Now, one of the things you're going to learn is that proper, effective math teaching requires both a teacher and a coach. And most homeschool parents can be really great coaches. Some can be good math teachers. A lot of them can't. And I'm going to show you how to make up for that so you can have a teacher to help you be the coach very cost effectively. Chapter 8 is about how to be a great coach, to be sure you do the right things as a coach, as a parent, because being a great coach is a very important thing for your student. Now, if you've gone through these chapters, you're going to pretty much know what to do. If you're interested in why public high school math is failing, Chapter 9 talks about the standard math curriculum that's being taught today in our public schools and why it is inappropriate for virtually all 3 categories of these students. It lets all 3 of them down. And by the way, it's not the teacher's fault, it's the curriculum. And that's going to then in Chapter 10 let you know why public high school math is failing our students. It's a systemic problem, by the way, and it's universal in the United States. Now, Chapter 11 is on financial facts of life. This is something to help you guide your child, your student, if they're going to go to college, how to do it without running up a lot of debt, and how to be really successful in college. And how they don't have to go to college. There's things they can do to have a very successful life without going to college. And this is all about financial facts that I believe every young student needs to know. That's Chapter 11. And then I have some generic chapters on 12. What's the future of our economy in the United States? Chapter 13, what's the future of our society? These are optional chapters, but you might find them very interesting just as a citizen. If you do happen to have a student that thinks they might want to become a professional mathematician, Chapter 14 is for you. But that's only for students that might want to be professional mathematicians. And then Chapter 15 is conclusions. So you don't have to read all the chapters. Read the ones that are appropriate for you. Make sure you read the preface and the introduction in Chapter 1. Everybody should read that. And then you should either read Chapter 2 or Chapter 3, depending on whether you have a student struggling or not, because it's going to teach you how to lay the right foundation. Then you can read either 4, 5, or 6, depending on the kind of students you have. Non-college bound, college bound but not STEM, or somebody that's interested in STEM. And then be sure you read How to Be a Great Coach, because you're going to be the coach. Chapters 9 and 10 are purely optional if you want to know why public schools are failing. That's really what the theme of the book is, though. How can you know that you're vastly superior? Well, you have to know why the public school is failing. And that's what Chapter 10 tells you. Chapter 11, I think, is a very valuable chapter for virtually all students. I think you definitely want to read it. 12 and 13 and 14 are optional. 15's conclusions. Now, I put in 2 addendums. The first addendum is how sapiens, that's human beings, you and me are sapiens, how they've communicated historically from the very beginning of sapiens up until 1950. That's sort of a review, and this is something you'll know all about. This won't be anything surprising. But now, addendum 2 is something that you probably do not know about. It's 21st century communications. And I think you'll find addendum 2 extremely interesting and valuable. So read that if you don't read anything else. And then finally, after you're done reading them, claim your copy, click on it, and go get your copy. Now, you can read some ebook reviews if you want to, and that might help you. And this is who I am. I'm Craig Hain. My students call me Dr. Dell. I have a PhD in math. I'm 80 years old. I've been teaching math for a long time at all levels, and I've written other books on math. But what you'll want to do ultimately now is go claim your copy and read it, and it will help you, I believe, if you spend a few hours reading the book. And by the way, there's also an audio version of it, so when you go get the book, you can read it, or you can listen to me actually give you an audio version of every chapter. So you'll have the option of either reading it or listening to it. So this is Craig Hain. I hope that you'll find this book valuable to you. Our goal for you is to give your child the very best possible optimal math education to help them have the very best life they can have. And that's the purpose of this book. So I hope you get it, and I hope you do well with your children, and I wish you the great success in teaching your children math.